Hi, I'm Ariele, founder of Wisdom of the Womb. I was just about to make myself a cup of my detox tea, and I decided to share a little bit about it with you as I'm making the tea, and also show you how to make a cup of the tea, because many of you ask just how to make a simple cup of tea. So first of all, I want to let you know that detox tea is one of my most popular teas, and I personally drink it every day. I also share it with my husband and my kids, so it's totally safe for everybody to drink. It's pretty simple. It contains milk thistle, red clover blossoms, peppermint, dandelion, lemon balm, nettle leaf, yellow dock, honey, dongui, and blueberries. And while some of those ingredients may just be kind of arbitrary or unknown to you, some of them are probably a little recognizable, like peppermint and dandelion. They're all really good ingredients for supporting your liver in processing through all of like the sludge that accumulates there. So that's a question that I get all the time is what exactly are we detoxifying? Are we detoxifying our womb? Are we detoxifying our whole body? The detox tea supports detoxification of the liver. And while the liver is a self-detoxifying organ, unfortunately, we ask a lot of our livers. So even if we eat organic and we don't drink alcohol and we use all natural products, we're still kind of inundated by environmental toxins. That's like tar in the air if somebody's paving the road, or off-gassing from our furniture or new builds, even our cars. So our liver has to process through all of that. Our liver is also affected by stress hormones. So anytime we're stressed, our body releases cortisol, and that's a hormone that has to go through our liver to be processed as well. It's also the precursor to all of our other hormones. So if our liver is stagnant, if our liver is having a hard time processing through this cortisol, our other hormones might get backed up too. It's really important to just give your liver that little nudge to kind of help support it and kind of processing through that energy that we kind of see as like a dampness. It's almost like if your body is processing through like an accumulation of like pudding instead of just like a water. It's just like a little bit slower. Some of our processes might slow down. The energy to ovulate, the energy for the fertilized egg to travel the length of a fallopian tube, those things just won't happen. So I recommend for everyone to start with a detox tea. And this is a great tea. You can share it with your partner, you can share it with your kids. I recommend just starting to have the detox tea for at least a full month. And then your body will be more prepared to handle and process through and really use the ingredients and the medicinals from the other teas and the rest of the cycle. So to make yourself a cup of tea, I just boiled some water here, but you can just use your little trusty tea stainer. Yours, if you bought it from my site, is a little bit nicer than this one. And then just get your tea. And I just really like scoop it right in the bag. So I don't measure or anything. I know you guys always, also you can give the bag a little shake just because some of like the powders and stuff might fall to the bottom and you want to make sure you have everything kind of even throughout. So I just give it a little scoop. I know you guys often reach out with like exact measurements. If I do half a tablespoon instead of a tablespoon, it's not like a pharmaceutical where you need to be really exact with. Your body is going to absorb the energetic of this and the nutrients from this, whether you have a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons. I usually say a tablespoon is great. If you want to make it last a little bit longer, you could use a half a tablespoon, but you're not going to get as much of an effect. So a tablespoon is what I typically say is ideal. And then just plop it in your cup. Pour some boiling water over it. I got my little A cup. And then you'll just let it steep. So I'll let it steep as we're talking. Depending on what kind of tea strainer you use, often some of the little herbs might come out and float around. They're totally fine. I just drink them. I certainly don't like save what's in here after. A lot of people ask me if can they reuse it. You can like pour another cup of hot water over it, but I wouldn't like let this one last for like 2 days, you know? So just use it, maybe use it again, but it doesn't count as a second cup of tea. If you pour hot water over it again, it doesn't count as like your second cup of detox tea. It's still your first cup of tea, because I do want you to absorb everything that's in this cup. So I think it's great if you pour hot water over it after you're done and kind of reuse it again. But that kind of straining of it will be a little bit weaker, so it won't count for an entire cup of tea. I do recommend that you have 3 cups of detox tea a day. But here's the but. A lot of women and men too, when they start drinking this, if you find that you are getting a little bit nauseous or a little bit headachy or a little bit dizzy or just feel like you're getting the sweats or something, this actually means that you're detoxifying, and that your liver is just not able to process all of the toxins that are being released into the blood. So it's not a bad thing, it's just an uncomfortable thing. It's actually a good thing, but I recognize that it's uncomfortable and I don't want you to be uncomfortable. So if this happens for you, reduce back to like 1 cup of detox tea a day, and maybe drink it over the course of a few hours. This actually means that your liver actually has a lot of toxins that you're needing to release. If you drink it and you feel fine, that's actually a sign that you don't have a ton of toxins to release. So like if I don't drink this tea for like 6 months and then I start drinking it, I'll notice a little bit of a detox reaction. But when I drink it every day, I don't notice it. So it's not anything to be concerned about. I know a lot of women reach out and they're like, I feel like nauseous and having diarrhea. It's actually a sign that your body is actually getting rid of a lot of those toxins. So all good, but I don't want you to be uncomfortable. So just cut back. You could even do 1 every other day if you're really, really having a hard time with it. Most women are fine. They might get like a slight headache or something. But if you're really having a hard time with it, you can go down to 1 a day or even 1 every other day. Another thing that I like to talk about during the detox phase, and it can be good to kind of sit with while you're drinking the tea, I like to make the drinking of the tea kind of a ritual to kind of turn off our electronics, just sit with yourself, have some quiet time, really see if you could begin to slow your breathing and bring your awareness into your womb space. And we talk about that a lot more in my course, but for the purpose of this video, I would love to just ask that while you're drinking the tea, try to bring your awareness to another thing that I try to have my patients detoxify from, and that's the negative self-talk that we sometimes do. Just bring your awareness to the things you say to yourself that you wouldn't say to anybody else. It can be helpful while you're drinking your tea to kind of flip the script a little bit. So notice the things you might say to yourself and see if you can flip them to be positive. So for instance, if you might say, ugh, I'm not feeling productive at all today, I'm so lazy. If you could flip that and just kind of say, how wonderful that you are really taking the time to rest and restore your body today, and recognize the importance of that. It sounds a little bit like hokey, but the negative self-talk is a really important thing that we can detoxify from, and just bring your awareness to it, because it's stressful. And if you think about somebody else being a little bit mean to you, it would stress you out a little bit. It releases cortisol. So just notice when you do that yourself. So if that's enough information for you today, you can stop and just know that you could always come back to learn a little bit more. But if you want to get the detox tea and then are curious about what you might do after the detox tea, or what you might do in conjunction with the detox tea, one of the things that I definitely recommend doing while you're detoxifying that can actually help your liver process is womb massage with the womb healing oil. In addition to the castor oil, can really help your body just get rid of some of those toxins. You're going to be pumping toxins into your bloodstream, and you want to do as much as you can to just kind of release that. So definitely the womb healing massage with the castor oil. I have videos on my YouTube channel, Ariele Myers, about how to do the womb massage. And then also the mermaid bath detoxifying soak. It's a seaweed soak, and it really helps to just draw out some of our toxins. So those two things are great additions. If you're curious about what might be next or what you can do to help shift the focus to begin to clear your womb, then we have the bitches brew tea. So that we do in the blood phase, which is when you're bleeding, but you can also do it up to 2 weeks before your blood phase, or if you have endometriosis, you could do it all the time. And this is the question that I get asked a lot about. Like, if we actually want to detoxify, I don't really say detoxify our womb. I say more like clear our womb, because our womb is supposed to be an empty vessel. It's a yin vessel. So it holds a lot of stuff unless we're very conscious about clearing that out. And that can be in the form of energy that we're holding that might not serve us, like different emotions. But it can also be an actual blood and chi that can get stuck. And so if you get a lot of clots with your period, if you get cramping with your period, if you know you have fibroids or endometriosis, then definitely move on to the Bitches Brew Tea. And there's a video over there that will let you know a little bit more about your tea. So my tea is looking pretty good. Can I show it to you without spilling? It's getting a little dark. It's not like a super dark tea, but it's super delicious. And it was really great to share it with you. So enjoy.